What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. I just want to focus in on the San Jose Sharks taking the C away from Jumbo Joe Thornton, and really kind of putting the C's and A's been taken away going into camp, which is I think it's too for the veterans on that team. Whether it's Thornton, Marlowe, Burns, Pavelski, whoever, to earn letters on their jerseys. I believe they'll go three alternates throughout next season. I'm sure Thornton will wear a letter, but it's Thornton's been part of two major playoff collapses, and you can talk about all his playoff shortcomings, but two major ones stick out. Obviously, this past spring against Los Angeles, and 10 years ago in Boston against Montreal, they blew a 3-1 series lead. He was playing through bruised ribs, but for a guy like him who would go on to win an MVP and lead the league in scoring, to have 0 points in 7 games is not the best look. And again, he was playing through bruised ribs. I think he had a broken something or other, but not great. And put up 3 measly points in 7 games against LA and be -6 in that series. He they needed more from him in the playoffs. And the big question with Thornton has been, I think will continue to be, is he a Hall of Famer? And I entered the season said, yeah, absolutely, first ballot. I mean, you guys won an MVP, one of the best playmakers in recent years in the NHL. But you think about the playoff shortcomings, and Wisniewski and Puck Daddy kind of outlined it. He's gonna have. I think at the end of the day he gets in. I know a few months ago I said he's probably not getting in, but I think you don't put up points like he has in the duration of his career, and not get into the Hall of Fame. But at the same time, this is another thing. It's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for Marlowe. But the Sharks got to do something, and I would have tried to wheel both of them and go complete rebuild. Get the Nietos and the Tomas Hertls, guys like that, get them prime time ice time, and definitely put them in a situation where you're turning a new leaf over with the franchise. But they're gonna roll with this core. They've had this core together for almost a decade, a couple Western Conference Finals appearances, but never broke through and made it to the Cup Finals. And Thornton's never scored more than 3 goals in a playoff season. So and again, I know he's more of a playmaker, but that's again, for a guy that has that coming up short label attached to him, not the best to look. But we'll see what happens. And you think about all the guys they've traded through over the years, and all the kind of additions and subtractions they've done. Obviously, trading away Danny Heatley, making the Brent Burns trade, trading for Heatley obviously before that, making the Burns trade. Trying to tweak the roster here and there, and hasn't been enough to bring them a Stanley Cup to San Jose, or even a Stanley Cup final appearance. So, it's not the most ideal situation for the Sharks to be in, because I think they'll make the playoffs next year, because the Pacific Division has 2 great teams, obviously 2 Southern California teams, and then some not so great teams. So I think they'll get in, but I think their window has shut, and it's going to be kind of an awkward transition period. But we'll see what happens. I mean, even going back to the subtraction, losing Dan Boyle out of the New York Rangers is another thing that's kind of like, shit. But we'll see what happens with San Jose going forward, but not surprised in the least with this situation. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ on Jumbo Joe losing his C in San Jose. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the offseason and beyond. Later, guys.